Hey y'all, I am going to be reacting to how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom, episode number 12. And for those of you wondering, I will be watching it from Funimation website, and I will be starting my reaction in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, hell yeah. And for some reason, my timer didn't start. But I synced it, though. All right, now it's your, whoo, boy. And just a thought, look at the man's face. Oh, man. I'm going to guess that this man's going to be set up for a big-ass surprise, though. I like how our boy's completely calm. Yeah, I like the way he said it, like at last, as if he was eagerly anticipating it. Which already, at least to me, is implying how much of an advantage someone's already got. Oh, hell yeah. I've been waiting for this. Oh, yeah. And honestly, you know what I'm been loving about the series lately? At least this episode and the last one are showing off that this series doesn't just know how to handle a comedic context moments, but it can actually handle serious moments too. I just hope that this episode goes a little bit slower than episode number 11 did. Only because it kind of does feel like this series goes a little bit too quickly sometimes. But you know what? I'll have positive expectations, though. Actually. But in saying that, the only thing I'm worried about is the animation quality, though, because already you can tell, like, the budget's fallen a little bit, with Lycia's hands looking a bit off, and then the CGI flag. So I hope that at the very least, they can save some of the good visuals for when it gets to the major physical conflict sequences. I can only cross my fingers. I know. But in saying that, I gotta admit, the fucking opening, you can tell they put a lot of passion into it. Or now it's back. All right, here's my fingers crossed and hoping it at least looks average. I'm not even expecting amazing. As long as it looks average, then it won't be that bad. Oh, shame. You can definitely tell the production of the series is really strained because when Aisha slash the opponents, you don't see the blades / specific body parts. When you've got the earth magic being utilized, it doesn't have like grandiose ground shaking. Like you can definitely tell when it comes to the animation quality, there's a lack of polish in multiple sequences. And I'm wrong about that because the king does have to do a lot of the planning. Damn! Actually, I'd say that's one of the best sequences involving Soma there. Well, because he's willing to do that for the lives of his men. That's not contradictory at all, if you ask me. No, he probably realized something important. I mean, he kind of had to, though. I mean, that's not cowardly at all, though. He's just trying to come up with the best possible solution. But I do like that how you're seeing it. There is moments where he's emotionally taken aback by the responsibilities on his shoulders. Now, that's what I love. Not just seeing Soma when he's winning, but also when he has those moments where you see some down in him. It actually makes him a bit multi-layered. At least when it comes to some of the other isekai protagonists in this season. That's actually pretty smart. No, it'd be a pointless death if we were to go along. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad the father's putting his foot down figuratively. Whoa! What's their family situation? Holy shit! To be that bad! Hey, you know what? The son has nothing to apologize for. That's just the negative circumstances that have fell upon them, you know? It's just the father trying to do what he thinks is best. Yeah, that objective. But hey, I mean, I guess he does have to say something to galvanize the troops, despite how low the odds are stacked against them. Whoa. Oh, that's really damn sweet. Because it emphasizes just the type of relationship that she has with Lisa. Because a few episodes ago, Lisa was trying to find ways of having some spare her friend, and now her friends mention how much she doesn't want to see Lisa get harmed. That's a lot of great characterization for Carla in just a small span of episodes. It's just a shame again. Like the animation for the fighting sequences is just bad though. Like the script is good. Like you can tell the script is fucking above your conventional isekai anime. Because look, you just see fucking soldiers just run into his fucking blade, and then the wound that he had on his chest, the armor, the cracks, it looked like it's already fixed from like one frame to the next. So that's how you can already tell the animators they're either being underpaid or probably don't have enough production time. But that's damn shame because again, I have to emphasize the script is good. Also, that y'all don't be like, Anime Caveman, you hate this series because they should have. No, I don't hate the series, but I gotta call it out how it is. What happened to someone? No. No, seriously, like this should be like one of the most epic moments of the season. And it ain't just the animators that mess it up too. The animation director that's like in charge of making sure that the art's on models, you can tell he or she's fucking it up too. But in saying that, I do love the creativity in the action sequences though, which I'm assuming that's oh. I mean, Soma asserted that he would take more responsibility, though. That's why he's out there. Damn. Okay, I mean that is some gutsy determination there. Although I'm saying that, that man looks like he could collapse at any moment now. Okay, how in the world were the arrows piercing it and no blood splurting out? I just find that. I mean, I just find that to be a little bit immersive breaking. You know? Hmm. Okay, now you see at least some blood splatter effects. And saying that the takedown of the man was pretty cool. It's just again, though, I wish they would have animated it better. Because you would think with something this grandiose, they would have had their best animators involved. I guess that puts into context as to why the father didn't seem to have like. Oh. Okay, you know what? I like that. At least it makes the death a little of. I mean, Domia a little bit more weighty in seeing the reaction of her daughter tearing up a bit. Hmm. He probably has. I mean, some of the. I like how Lacey's starting to pick up on a lot of things too. Hmm. Kind of like how here you at least see that Hakio's having an influence on some of the decisions that someone's making. And I just wish we would have seen that on screen though, because again, it feels like the series is really just trailblazing through really interesting material. Like you have the introduction of Hakia, Tomoe, Lisa, I mean not Lisa, Aisha, Juna all in a single episode, and of all those new characters introduced, I'd say only was it the Naruto running? And not like the normal running formation. But it's like you were introduced to a lot of characters with cool looking character designs, and it's like it feels like this series just doesn't pay attention to like it's a large cast of characters because a lot of the new characters introduced, I'd say they only really gave good focus on Aisha when it comes to characterization. And of course, Soma and Licia do have a lot of characterization too. Oh, okay. I mean, that thumbs up. That was chat as fuck. But it just feels like the series goes a bit too quick sometimes. How this the material in this episode should have been expanded to at the very least 2 episodes in this episode, and now a lot of in the series I feel could have been expanded to 2 cores instead of just it being a singular core. Which is a damn shame because you could just tell by the dialogue the base material is good. If this got a bad animation studio and a bad director to work with, kind of make the light novels once the season ends. And that love scenes like this, it's showing you all the planning someone's doing in case things go to complete shit, how they utilize resources. Now that is good. Hmm. Hmm. Oh shit. It's got a good point. Yeah, that's a good question. Huh? Kind of like this. Giving us potential plot points for future seasons if the series manages to get one. Like already building the seeds in the background for it too. Oh snap. Actually, I've been wanting to see them utilize Juna a little bit more. Just a look on Alicia's face. So I smell a hint of jealousy there? Yeah, oh, she is jealous. Oh, oh my. Oh, that's too adorable. I mean, Chris Sutton has a cute character design. I ain't gonna lie. You know, she looks good in that outfit. I ain't gonna lie. But that's a battlefield, though. This is kind of different. And plus, it seems like she's gonna about to do something embarrassing that she's not comfortable with. So I can see why she'd be nervous. I love how that's how he's trying to find ways of calming her nerves. Oh snap! I wonder what Juna's gonna. You can tell that the animators got lazy. Half of the ones there look derpy, then the second half you can tell they're CG. No, seriously, how much budget did this series have to work with? I mean, you can definitely tell this series is made by its script. Don't tell me they're going to put more budget into the singing sequences. They probably are going to put more budget singing sequences, aren't they? Oh, don't get me wrong. I like singing sequences. Y'all know I react to a lot of anime. So for those to be like, anime keep and you hate anime, they have musicals and dance. No. I love Loveless Superstar. I watched all of Geki Idol. I watched all of Idols. I watched all of Idol Pride. I watched Love Live Niji Asaki. So I love musical anime. But I swear, if they give like expanded beautiful sequences to Juna singing, and they made the worst sequences look like shit. I am gonna have to call off. I'm gonna have to call out this series. Are you? So this is what they spent their budget on? Don't get me wrong, I love musical anime and all that. But how are they going to prioritize this over the first half of the episode where you had a central death? Fuck. Kind of makes me wonder what the priorities of the series were. Like, seriously. So they gave more importance to the battle sequences. And it's not even that these sequences look good. If they would have made the battle sequences and this stuff look good, then I'd been fine. But it's like, damn, if you can only make a few sequences look good, they make the super plot relevant stuff look amazing. You know? All right. Gotta admit. It all sounds pretty beautiful. Even like the music playing in the background too. It sounded pretty nice. Oh! Hello, Galen Bondonis. I hope you're having a great day right now. As for me, that was such a big smack for me so far. Wait, it's over? All right, well, here's the thing. The episode sounded good. Like, legitimately, there was good. But there was bad, too. There was bad. Let me start out with the good first, though. Now, here's what the episode credit for. That singing sequence of the gift of Juna, at least they give her a few more sequences of importance there. So I'll give it credit for that. Anytime they can make Juna a little bit more relevant, I welcome that with open arms. So there's some positives here. It had plot progression because at the very least now, for the most part, the fighting has finished. And at the very least, the leader of Anidomiya was finally killed. So there was significant amounts of plot progression in the episode. But in saying that, though, it felt like it was too quick, though. Because let me just say this. I would have loved to have seen expanded sequences. I would have loved to have seen how the son were to react to the death of his own father. I would have really loved to have seen expanded sequences on, say, Juna's fighting forces, because they showed small snippets of that in the previous episode, but they didn't give us the full load. Considering that this series, when they first introduced a lot of characters like Juna, Hakia, Tomoe, Poncho, Aisha, when they introduced those five, they made it seem like all those five were going to actually matter and make a difference. But out of those five, well, the only one that on screen mattered is just Aisha. That's it. What about the other four? And before I argue, well, Hakia helps out someone with this planning. Yes, he does. But the dude is like off screen, so he might as well not even exist. with how they utilize them. I would have loved to have seen Hakia have some conversations with Soma on screen, but they only mention Soma talk about his conversations with Hakia after the fact. They never really bother showing it on screen. So that's another down too. I can't ignore that. Really? You dropped anything, Gilliam? I know this season has some good anime. But yeah, a lot of anime this season have turned out to be disappointing. I ain't gonna lie. And that's the issue with the episode from a narrative standpoint. It just went too fucking fast sometimes. Now, don't get it twisted. There were positive things. Aside from the defeat of the leader of Amidomiya, I did love the fact that Carla did show off her stuff too in some combat sequences, so there were some positives. And even though the battle animation for Aisha's fight sequences looked like crap, it was still nice getting to see her actually have some moments of badassery. Even though they're really badly animated, it was still nice regardless to get to see that she had some action. So that's why, even though, yes, the execution from the episode was off, that was mostly the fault of the animation and the directing staff. I'm not going to fault the writing staff. I'm not going to blame the writing staff for this because it's like you're with some of the worst animators. So it's not their fault. It's the animator's fault. Well, I don't blame you again, LeBon, to be honest, about Burnout. Now, from a character standpoint, it did quite a bit to its credit. For one, I did like how you saw how Soma handled things pretty damn well. And I love how he resolved things throughout the end of the episode when it comes to solving some of the problems with like singing and all that. So I love the unique problem-solving solutions in the episode. And aside from that, I do like how it builds up some plot threads for some future episodes to its credit. So there were positives in this episode. And I did love seeing our Soma really pick up on Aisha's emotions too, when he knew exactly what to say to perk her confidence up quite a bit. And another thing that I also really love too about this episode is you can totally see us starting to love Soma even more too. It was fucking adorable when she was getting jealous. So there were quite a bit of stuff that I absolutely love to see, you know? Now, in saying that though, this episode further emphasized some of the downsides though, because the music program that they had in the episode, it would be nice to get to see a bit of the perspective from the characters about to perform the musical stuff right before we get the musical stuff. Like, I would have loved to have seen maybe Juno's perspective of being placed in huge amounts of responsibility for some extra characterization. I would have loved to see some of the thoughts of the citizens for some of the music being played. I would have loved to have just seen this episode build things up more. Here, it just feels like things happen as a matter of fact, and that's it. So that's why, from a character standpoint, the episode did decent, but there were flaws. But the biggest and most damning thing was the animation quality, though. Like, how in the hell can they fuck up the warring sequences? This is like, what, near the last bit of the season, and they fuck up? Which is a damn shame, because honestly, I feel like if this had been done under a better studio, this anime would have been an epic. Like, no joke. I'm not joking. I feel like the material could have been a masterpiece epic. But unfortunately, though, it isn't. And that's really the downside of the episode, because this episode, literally a lot of it was banking on its action sequences, because that was a huge part of the episode. And the animators failed in bringing them to life. And I'm only against it on the artwork, where sometimes you had derpy faces and backgrounds with CGI sometimes. You can definitely tell the animators, whatever they were doing, they were running out of time. They were probably pinching pennies. So that's why it was a bit disappointing, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I really, really was rooting for this episode to look good. That will mention a few upsides though. The music was really good. I love the music. And the voice performances were great, so I'll give it credit for that. But damn! I'd be a liar if I said I can rate this episode average. Because here's the kicker. If I were to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, of 1 being abysmal, 5 being 9 to 10 being exceptional, I'm going to be honest, I have to give it a 4.75 out of 10 for a bit below average. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 3 or 2 out of 10 is because the script itself, you can tell that there was some interesting material there. But in them rushing through a lot of shit, badly animating the battles that they've been building up for multiple episodes, it just gives you a bad payoff for all the buildup that they've been given these last few events over the last few weeks. It just feels like it just makes you go, what was the point of all this buildup if they're just going to give us some terrible payoff? And that's why I can't give this episode above average. I mean, yeah, I was entertained. That's why I'm not going to rate the episode a 3 or a 2 out of 10 or even a 1 out of 10. I mean, it did enough to the point where I'm like, okay, you can tell there's some competency here and there, but only in the writing and a voice and the musical staff. The animators, they're the ones that botched this. Literally, if this episode would have been better paced with better animators, this episode could have easily been an 8 or 9 out of 10. Easily, with like zero hesitations. But with like the bad execution, I can't give it a high rating. Especially when you compare this to the other isekai anime airing this season that put in a lot more effort into their visuals. I can't. That'd be unfair. That is to say, this isn't the worst isekai anime of the season. It's not. It's actually one of the better ones. I still rate this above most isekai anime this season. But I really hope the animation team for the series brings it into episode 13. I hope. I mean, I'll just have to see you next week, though. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the episode, but I gotta be honest, I can't give it an above average rating. Because that would imply that the people working on the episode were competent, but a portion of them weren't. So I can't really do that in good consciousness. I can't just be like, oh, yes, they did a great job. No, I can't. Only the writer and the voice actors and actresses are the only ones that deserve a lot of credit. That's it. But yeah, these are my thoughts, y'all. I'm a bit disappointed. But in saying that, I'm still going to eagerly anticipate the next episode. Just that my expectations for episode number 13 are going to be a little bit lowered now. I'm not going to be lying and saying like, oh, yes, I am out for episode 13. I'm excited. No, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. No, I never lie about my thoughts of animes. I'm always honest. But I ain't going to lie. Going into episode 13, my expectations are going to be super fucking low. So, yeah. Especially after some of the season finales this season that have been fucking good so far. My expectations are going to be higher now going into episode 13. But lower at the same time. It's weird. Because a lot of anime this season have ended pretty well. Surprisingly, actually. I'm damn surprised. But yeah, everyone. These are my thoughts on the episode. I'll really love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction. Or the episode itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, or subscribe if you do not want to miss my reaction to episode 13. Thank you very much again, Well Bonaladas, for commenting in the live chat. Thank you everyone else for watching my video. And I hope you have a fun, great, safe, and fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.